Hey everybody, today I have a video, for you. I have something very special to show, and something I've waited years to get, like I've wanted for years, and that is my very first M1 Garand. So the story goes, obviously I've wanted one of these, like I said, I've wanted one of these for forever. I just couldn't bring myself to buying one, off of the CMP. I mean, it's a don't get me wrong, that it got killer prices at the CMP. But there's all sorts of hoops you have to jump through with paperwork and stuff, which I would have gotten. I would have done that if I wanted one. You know, if I would have felt like doing it enough. Um, but also, uh, I was never old enough. I am now, but I'll get into that. But yeah, I was never old enough, and plus I'm the type of person where I like to know 100% what I'm buying. I didn't want to put the money forwards for an M1 Garand, hoping it would be a World War II one, and then it gets here and it's not. I really would have preferred a World War II dated Garand. So, uh, like I said, I turned 18 last month, so now I am old enough to buy shotguns and rifles. So 2 days after my birthday, uh, I, I usually go to work after school sometimes. I'm kind of laid off right now, but so I was getting ready to leave for work, and my dad was just coming home from work, and he said that down at the local gun shop there was an M1 Garand for sale. Now he's good friends with the guy who owns the store, so I told him to give the guy a call and tell him to set it back for me, because I was gonna go down later and check it out. So I went to work. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I was super excited, uh, and then I finally got home and we went to the gun shop. I looked at the rifle and it was what I wanted, so I decided to buy it. So here we have my very first M1 Garand. Uh, it is it's in excellent condition. Um, just you really have to see it in person to understand how good it looks. The camera does no justice. I mean, maybe it does a little bit, but not a whole lot. Everything's just in awesome condition. So this particular rifle, um, it's a Springfield rifle. The serial number is a 3.6 million serial number, so that would place it somewhere in March 1945. So it is a World War II rifle made during World War II, which is what I wanted. Uh, and yeah, so while I was at the gun shop, uh, the owner, he broke down the rifle for me, down to the three main sections. Um, and he shined a flashlight down the barrel, opened the chamber, uh, shined a flashlight up there, and had me look down at the rifling and everything. And let me tell you, it was absolutely amazing rifling. Like, it looks almost completely unused. It almost looks like it just looks magnificent. Excellent rifling. Uh, Everything is just great condition on this rifle. The stock, uh, at first glance, you may think it's a like a CMP special stock, the reproduction stocks. But if it was one of those, I wouldn't have bought it because I prefer original. But so yeah, this is the original stock. I don't know if it's 100% original to the rifle, but it is an original stock. Um, Let me flip it over here. That's the cartouche. SA Springfield Army GAW. That's I forget who that is, but I believe that's one of the manufacturers of the stocks, or at least one of the inspectors, I believe. There's the cross cannons. That's one of the other ones that signifies that it's a wartime stock. And there is the P with serifs. Let me see. Yeah, with serifs in the circle. That also means that it's a World War II stock. See, this is no CMP stock. This is the real deal. It's in super amazing shape. There's little to no damage to it at all. Little to no damage to the whole rifle. So now I'll, oh yeah, I know another thing I wanted to show. The date on the barrel, if you can see it. Yeah, you can see that's an April 45 dated barrel. By the 445 down there, the far right, that's what that is, if you're wondering. Let me close this. So yeah, I'll break it down, the basic breaking down, and tell a little bit about the interior of the rifle, the inside of the rifle. If you don't know how to do this, flip the rifle upside down, pull back on the trigger guard, and then, oh, whoops, it doesn't usually let go like that. But yeah, it should ideally, it should pop out like that, and then you just pull the whole thing out. This is your trigger group. Say your trigger, your safety, the hammer, all that jazz. And by the way, I bought the rifle exactly as you see it here, with this stock, or not the stock, the sling. The sling came with it. And then the next step, just pull off the stock like that. And then you have your three main components here. Now I have taken apart the rifle like this far and gotten the serial numbers of all the parts that I could see. So I haven't detail stripped it yet. The farthest I've taken it down is field stripping. But the parts, as far as the numbers go, I have, looked at the numbers and looked them up, and, there's part databases online that you can see when each part was made. And as far as I could see, and as far as the numbers show, all the parts in here so far are all World War II production parts. So, this kind of leads me to believe that a lot of these parts very well might be original parts to the rifle. Now there's, also a possibility that they aren't, because I'm sure, after the war they had lots of spare parts, laying around from when they made them during World War II. Another thing, before I go any further, is on the stock here. Yeah, here's the cartouche, and then there's this stamp to the left of it. I believe that is a rebuild stamp. After World War II, in the late 40s, they were rebuilding these M1 Garand rifles, and that basically meant they were replacing obsolete or damaged parts. So anything that was damaged would probably get replaced. Anything that was obsolete or outdated, like if there was a better version of it out, then they would replace that with the better version. So another thing to point out here is with the sights. These are not the correct sights for the serial number. These are the post-war sights. Like I said, this rifle is a 3.6 million serial number rifle. That would mean it would originally come with lock bar sights, and because lock bar sights ended at 3.8 million, and like I said, this is a 3.6 million. So that's one of the things that I was talking about. Like they would replace obsolete parts. So one of my theories for this rifle, every rifle has its own story. My theory for this rifle is that, it was made in March 45. Um, I believe it saw little to no use. That's why it's, in such good shape. And then I believe what they did was, when it was this rifle's turn to be rebuilt, so to speak, uh, they took it, replaced the sights with these sights. They replaced the lock bar sights with these. And then, as far as I know, they did that. As far as I believe, I should say, they did that. Stamped the stock, but the rifle was rebuilt. Rebuilt, I should say. And then sent it on its way to, for further service. And the only reason I say that is because, well, that rebuild stamp, that lingos with these, these rear sights, the knobs. However, yeah. However, one of the common things they did to these, there was problems with the operating rods on these original operating rods. So I know a lot of times what they did is they made like a cut right in here. Right in here on the operating rod. It's very common to find them very common to find them with that relief cut. However, obviously this does not have a relief cut. And I feel like that's something that they would have done when they rebuilt, when they're rebuilding the rifles. But this does not have it, so it's really hard to say. I guess it would be hard to say without stripping it down the rest of the way. So sometime eventually I'm going to be stripping it down the rest of the way. Yeah. So I did get a couple other components for this because I'm going to be using this with my World War II impression. Hopefully I'll be doing some more videos of that sometime soon. But I did get some other components, like I said. Some cleaning components, that is. Here I got an original oiler with the pull through in it. That's what that is. It's a pull through. Yeah. And then I got the brush to go with it. I got 2 grease pots with original grease in them. Here's an M3 cleaning tool. It's a combo tool. Like it has different items. Like that's for the gas screw at the end of the muzzle. Like below the muzzle. And then I bought some original cleaning patches. A lot of this stuff I got in a lot. So I also bought 2 cans of rifle bore cleaner, 2 cans of lubricating oil, and a tub of lubriplate grease. That's what's in here. Honestly, like it's the same thing. I bought it off of Midway USA, the big tub of grease. It was a really good price. And it's the same exact stuff that they used for these rifles originally. It's the same exact formula. It's just branded for commercial use. So yeah, that's what I have here. And this is my M1 Garand rifle. Super excited to have one now. I'm glad I got to show it to you. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the next one.